4 minutes. And I know, just wanted to share with you first, thank you everybody for coming out tonight. Number two, this is a hard concept to really disseminate to an audience. Usually when you come to a clinic, a clinician has a bag of stuff that he or she, they have handouts, exercises, pure demonstrations, and demonstrations within the actual context of the music. With this is all field-based and based. And the thing about it is, what I'd like you to take away from this is when you're listening to your music, and if you ever hear a drummer and he does something, you're like, wow. Instead of asking, what chop did he play? Ask the question, why did he play that chop at that point in the music? When you uncover that mystery, then you are now on your own road to becoming your own creative drummer. Because if whatever that drummer did at that point made your ear turn and go, wow, that was perfect against everything that was happening, you want to recreate that. And you can recreate it if you start thinking, well, you don't have to think like me. What I'm sharing with you tonight is the way that I came about reaching what I like to think that point of my playing ability. The way that the use of hemiolas, the use of metric modulation, playing along with the soloist. These things, whenever I walk into a gig, are available to me, and I can pick any one depending on what comes up at that moment. Changing the feel within the middle of a song to add even more tension, and also sometimes comedy. There is a sax player in town named, who played with Carl? Paul Soroka. Paul is without doubt one of the most whimsical players you'll ever play with. He has chops like you would not believe on the sax. But when he hears something, he'll put in the theme to Scooby-Doo or to whatever, Mickey Mouse Club, something at a point of the solo, and then he'll add to it. So it's like a theme that people can relate to, and then all of a sudden he starts to bend and mold it into something even more creative. That's what I think you as a drummer have the opportunity of doing. Being able to look at a gig not just as a 2/4 hit or as a straight groove gig, but something more melodic, something that you can add more tension to than just sitting back there and keeping time. So, any questions before? Yes, Jesse?
Question and a comment. Question is, I know that throughout a given week, you could be on a big band gig, an orchestral gig, a gospel gig, and your trio gig. So, can you explain, if you're not practicing for those different styles, what do you do to get ready for those varied situations?
Well, each one of them has a commonality to it. Drums. Next question.
That's your answer, that's cool.
No. It is. It's actually a pretty good question. I'm very fortunate to have played in many groups. I mean, I think I played every style, even Middle Eastern. I never forget I did one, Orthodox Jewish wedding where I was playing congas for 2 hours straight.
Can I give you that kid?
Yeah. So, but I listen to a lot of music, and I listen to a lot of music of different styles. How many people in here love music? Okay. How many people in here have an eclectic taste in music? You know, they always say you tell a man by what's on his iPod. And I don't want you guys to see my ABBA collection, but it's there. You know, I listen to a lot of different styles, and when I listen to those styles, I take away something from each one of those styles. So I really don't have to practice it. I just have to know what makes big band, what makes Afro-Cuban, what makes funk, ooh, I love funk. Ooh, funk's where I get into trouble big time. What makes polka? If you can just figure out those things, and when you listen to it, you can recreate it based upon what chops you already bring to the table. Now, you know, if you're not that type of a person who likes those styles, and you like to pigeonhole yourself into one style, that's fine too. But I just find that all music, for some reason, just seems to really get me. And it's about the different styles, about the different feels. Afro-Cuban is just unbelievable. It sends my mind into haywire. I'm able to play many different patterns with different limbs and make it sound like a whole rhythm percussion section. It's just something, it's when your body feels that, it's a feeling that I can't even describe. But yeah, that's how I do it pretty much, yes.
So, my comment is, my name is Jesse. Me and Mark went to Towson together with Tom Sabian. And I remember walking down the halls and Mark said, Jesse, man, we're going to start to learn some drum set. I said, well, you're going to be fine. Your hands are already good. Just got to put it all together. So, to see where you are is just beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I second that. I remember that comment too. And we're like, you just got it together pretty fast.
When you're playing in a trio situation like I do, McCoy Tyler said it best, there's nowhere to hide. Everybody's got to bring their own voice to the music. And so there were some parts of your clinic where you actually wasn't playing the music was playing you. And so you and Jay have got this musical ESP thing going on. And so you're taking ideas and he's taking ideas from you. And because you guys have been playing together for so long, the sound is this big.
We're actually filling in holes that
we invented.
Well, Jay was absent last week from our trio gig, and we had another upright player with us. Rick Weber. Alex Weber. I'm great with names. And we were doing the same thing with him. And the thing about it is, and this is it, because it's not a matter of, familiarity goes a long way. But because he was playing what he felt comfortable with, and I was playing around with what he felt comfortable with, he had smiles on his face. It's like, hey, wait a minute, that direction, yeah, I can see that going there. And next thing you know, this big creativity thing started. And he realized that the gig is more than just sitting up there playing for a bunch of people picking up their meals at a breakfast buffet. It actually has some soul and some communication. So he couldn't just dial it in. He had to actually pay attention and also join in with the creativity. That's ultimately what is going to keep you hired for any gig. You get behind the bandstand and you make that whole band say, ooh, I like where you went with that. You don't have to play the song verbatim. You've got a mind. You've got a voice. We were talking about what we do is the difference between making a speech and holding a conversation. Speech is more one-sided. Conversation is an actual exchange of ideas. And you do it in a manner that, oh, by the way, I've faltered, I've fallen, I've gotten off of one several times, and I blame it on them. And they're like, wow, I guess we were off. But but I learned from those mistakes. If I can leave you with anything tonight, is always sing the melody. Always sing the melody. When you're playing, sing along with it. When the solos I was doing, when they were setting up ostinatos, the rhythms within that solo, like I heard then I took a solo off of this. Off of this while still singing that in my head. The disconnect is like, holy smokes. Does he know where he is? And snap right back to one again. And your mind is blown. My mind is blown. Like, wow, that actually worked. I was actually able to hear what I was doing outside of what was happening and still feel where I was so I can come back in and establish where one is. So, be creative. Don't sit back there and don't take you are going to sit back there and keep time and nothing else but time and get us drinks on the break. You're not going to stand for that. You're going to become a creative drummer. You're going to become a drummer with a melodic mind. You're going to become a drummer who has something to say more than just keeping time. Any other questions? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the evening. Anthony Villa from Loyola. Bob Cole. And James Lane. Thanks again, everybody. Have a good evening.